Well. How y'all doing out there? Facebook Live, man. It's the Big Y'all J45 Live morning show. Thursday night. Prichard City Council meeting edition. Live right here in the City Hall at the front door where I can see everything and everybody. I know y'all getting ready for the basketball game. Come on. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, this meeting will be started and ended before time for the basketball games. Come on. Juneteenth celebration starts this weekend. Father's Day is Sunday, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fathers out there. I know we're not going to get nothing for Father's Day. Some of us will. But for those, you know what I'm saying, you're able to, and ain't nobody going to get you nothing, man. Treat yourself. That's what I've done. Started on, you know what I'm saying, just treat myself for Father's Day this year. Because, you know what I'm saying, God has blessed me to live 43 years of age. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, August 13th, Lord's will, it'll be my 44th birthday. I'm just going to enjoy life and myself. I'm going down there to just relax, enjoy that pool, and I'm talking about just have a good time down there. Shout out to my cousin, you know who you are, know what I'm saying, for the reservations and stuff. So I will be, you know what I'm saying, getting away from the city. I was going to be here for weekend. I may have to come back, you know what I'm saying, to do a favor for a real good friend and family of mine. So I may be back for a brief moment on Saturday. But more than likely, I won't be, but I may be, I don't know. But I mean, I plan on enjoying my Father's Day. So, I mean, if you ain't doing that, fellas, you know that your children, mama, your wife, your old lady, nobody's going to do nothing for you for Father's Day. Do something for yourself. But we are here, let me let y'all see what's going on. We got the council. We have a 3-member quorum already. City clerk is there. So they'll be letting you know what's going on in a minute. Got the fire chief back there. Code officer, Mr. Green. Other people, you know what I'm saying, coming in. The pastor get over here. Miss Katie Davis, Mr. Young, Miss Teresa. We got the water board lady and the water board man just walked in. Well, Mr. John Johnson. And there's our 3-member quorum. Thinking I'd like to make a motion. He may come in. He may not. Wait to see if Councilman Derek Griffin's going to come in. So we'll see in a minute. I'm saying if they're going to come in or not. In the meanwhile, what's up, Tony? I'm going to be sitting right here waiting to see what's going to happen. Y'all know I really like drinking water, but I be just kind of feeling like I'm getting beat up my money because these are 75 cents and the water's $1.25. So it's like every Thursday I'm always drinking either a Diet Coke or a Sprite. I need to stop that, but hey, it is what it is. Father's Day Sunday, Juneteenth celebration started in the city of Prichard on Sunday. So y'all tune in, hit the share button. Council meeting should be finna start in a few minutes. Probably gonna start at 5:30. So let me see what time we at now. Right now, 5:34. We ain't up on time. People in here waiting. They got a nice size agenda tonight too. That's the front, that's the back. But I don't care how long this city council meeting agenda is. It's never as long as the Prichard Water Board agenda. Prichard Water Board agenda be like a Pentecostal program. Everybody who got a church that's in the church by the choir got to sing and everything. Look like dirty band coming in, you know what I'm saying? Pushing for Peace program. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we get some more viewers on here. Y'all hit that share button and we get on into the Prichard City Council meeting in a few minutes. They should have been started 5 minutes ago, but they're right here now. Still hadn't started. We hopefully, you know what I'm saying, they come on and start so we can get this here together and, you know, have a productive meeting tonight. be too busy in the pool. Just come and Sunday. I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in advance. To the mothers out there, y'all please let us have our day in peace. Because you know, y'all give us hell on that little day. That don't make no sense. But we give y'all day now. So, you know, just be a little thoughtful. Let us have our little day as well. We finna get ready for the Prichard City Council meeting, y'all. Let's tune in. Y'all see the signs over there. There we go. I think we're finna get ready, y'all. Gotta come together. Yes, Councilman Derek Griffin is here.
Thank you all for coming, joining in with us for our council meeting, for June the 14th, 2022, and the time is 5:37. At this time, prior to you, city clerk, beginning the agenda, I just want to say to all our citizens and also city council members. Number one, only the person who has signed up to be placed on the agenda will be allowed to speak. This is not saying for support that ones that you bring with you do not stand with you. You will be only allowed to speak for 3 minutes. This not only applies to our citizens, but also to council members. If additional information is needed, the council will have to give consent to give that assistance. The most important one, the council will not tolerate anyone defaming anyone's name and character. With this said, Ms. Alicia, you may.
Invocation and flag, Pastor Sam Woods.
Let us pray. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Father, we pray that in this meeting tonight, the business of this city will be done in a way that pleases you. Help us to conduct ourselves in a way that pleases you. We pray for our council. We pray for our mayor and his staff. We pray for all the employees of our city, especially those who are working out in this dreadful heat. We ask for your added strength and protection. Give us a good meeting tonight. We pray in the name which is above every name, in the name of Jesus. And the people of God say, amen. The pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilor Annie Williams, present. Councilor Stephanie Johnson Norwood, present. Councilor Derek Griffin, present. Councilor George McCall. Council President Althea Edwards, present. Madam President, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
Adoption of minutes for June 9th, 2022.
Have councilors had a chance to read the minutes? I have. Williams.
Yes.
With that said, I make a motion to accept the minutes with the necessary information. I need a second.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call please.
Councilor Williams,
Yes.
Johnson Norwood,
Yes.
Griffin, McCall, President Everett.
Yes, motion passed.
Ms. McCall, is that it for the committee report, she said?
I would ask if the council allows the, page that later on, we will be here. We just started this with a look. Okay, okay. Can I have the first say from that? Susan? Okay. Okay, no problem.
Old business, Councilor Annie Williams,
But that's crazy. But we right here.
In the old business. We were still dealing with the water board, remember, we were supposed to be getting the information, and this, Lucius sent out quite a few, papers. This, she sent them to everyone. So I don't know if the attorneys have had a chance to look at them or not, or if they received them. I received quite a few sheets that she sent out.
Madam President, I have had an opportunity to begin, looking at what was sent. I really wanted the opportunity to compare those with the documents we already have, and perhaps write a summary of what I have. So there's good some documents that conflict with the other ones, so I'd like to point out, so someone can, even if you've got the committee, to take them and harmonize, so if you wanna make a change, whatever, you know, they all say.
I think under the, what is the, what, add, the document, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Nolan, you want to speak to
Hey,
that,
babe.
on that,
Hey, Ms. Richardson.
Yes, actually, I'd like, Ms. Lucius, if she would read it for me. She has been researching ordinances, and this is one that been missing and we're looking for, that, Ms. Edwards had said she remembers it being adopted. And this one is ordinance number 2052, and it is signed. And, signed and adopted, yeah, I do have time.
Was it in the papers that she sent out?
excuse me, Mr. Richard, would you please note that Councilman Clark and Mr. Five on the floor? Thank you. You may proceed.
President Elder, I was trying to find out if what Ms. Norwood is talking about is in these papers.
notwithstanding any provision to the contrary in any city ordinance except where the preemptive state of federal law requires otherwise. Whenever an ordinance of the city of Prichard establishing a board, commission, or similar body provides for individuals to be nominated and appointed to said board or commission by the city council of the city of Prichard, any member of the city council may make a nomination for the appointment of a person to a vacancy in any place or seat on said board or commission, regardless of the council district in which the nominee may reside. All ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby expressly repealed. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its adoption as required by law, adopted this the first day of June 2017.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Yes.
I would just like to share something, and I was here when that was done, in the sense of harmony, and I know that the council made those changes themselves. In the respectful harmony, I would think that it would only be fair that each council member have an opportunity to put a representative forward as it relates to this. And no one council should have the ability to nominate a person each time a seat come up. Each district, from my perspective, should have that same opportunity. We all know that it was changed in a period in which there was some sense of control as it related to making those nominations on the board. I strongly suggest that the council reconsider going back to allowing each district person to commit a person to the position of the water board. And that's just my recommendation.
I understand that just I want to say that at the time that this particular resolution was done, or whatever, it was because of what you are really missing as far as being an agreement. The problem was back here some time ago, just as it was when council members were allowed to go and be appointed on that board. That was the worst thing that could ever have been done. Okay, that's why the council stopped that. Secondly, the reason why the council decided, just like the interference that is going on now, as far as from our household over to the water board, it was done because of the interference that we saw that council members was having special people being placed on that board in order to have them to do and to vote as they wanted them to vote. And the reason why that we did this, I'm gonna tell you. The reason why we did this, we was hoping, and this book was stated in the beginning, we were hoping by each council member not having to select someone from that district, especially, that we will look at people who be objective, unbiased, be able to communicate with the council, and that's from mayor, council to the board. Okay? That was the reason why this was developed and passed by the council. For an example, Mayor, the person that I put on the board, water board, was a person I did not know. That was a person that the position was held by another council person. I took my time, a lot of time, and I stayed as far on that it should be of the council and the administration for the citizen and overall for the city. I didn't know him, but I did my homework. I followed him. And then I went to him a number of times and asked him would he serve as the appointee on the board. Whatever people say, I have seen that if the people want to do the right thing, then nobody likes it. Just like that. But the problem is, when you try to do the best that you can, you can go home with a good time. That's what I think.
May I, Madam Chair?
Madam President, I do have a question.
May I, because
Yes,
this
sir.
remark,
Yes, sir.
she is. And I'm not speaking in the sense of I,
I
what any individual receptions of why they did whatever they did. I'm speaking in the sense of harmony and allowing every citizen of this city, whatever district they may be in, so that council person can make a selection to the board. Every member of this will believe whoever they put forward is a person of the quality and caliber that they would want to have representing their area, or the city in general. Because all of you, even though you may be a district, represent this city. And I'm just saying, we need to reconsider that in the manner that we do that. That's all I have to offer.
Well, I was not here in 2017 when it, was adopted, but, I would really like to ask Mr. Griffin, because I want to get a good understanding of what was going on, and he was president at that time. Do you remember kind of why y'all adopted this? Because I want to get a clear picture of the history, and as we go forward, we're doing what's best for the city.
From my knowledge, the appointment dates were already mixed up. So to allow one council member to have an appointment on the board, pretty much in reference to what Mayor Gardner said, that's why that nomination was made from another council member. Because they didn't have an appointment on the board and there was already an appointment. I think myself had an appointment over there and Councilman Elvis had an appointment. And then when that council member came in, they didn't have an appointment over there. So they needed someone from that district to represent. Because Councilwoman, from my understanding, your appointee is not from district, your district, correct?
No, it's not.
And I think that was kind of in conclusion of why that was done. It was that said that I guess if a citizen, I guess a council member is in like District 1, then the person that they appointed from the water board should be from District 1. Because that person from that district could relate to those citizens in that district. Like for instance, as of now, my water board appointee was from District 1. So my citizens from District 3 feel that they don't have the proper representation from District 3. If you have a person that's in District 1 that would have proper water needs, the drainage is not as bad as it would be in District 3. So during that time, I think that's why it was flip-flopped. The dates were off. No one knew which appointments were up. There were like 2 different resolutions with different dates on it. So just vaguely, that's how I can answer your question. And I, in reference to Mayor Gardner, do feel that if a council person represents a district, that the water board appointee should come from that district, because those citizens in that district are the ones that are gonna have complaints. And I think right now it's just all mixed up as it was then, and no one really knew who to reach out to as far as representation of their district. So I think what it was trying to balance out having someone from every district to have representation, with Councilwoman Elkins' person being from a different district. Mine's being from District 3, and I think at that time, the districts were off. So you had like 3 representatives on there from 2 representatives were from the same district, and 1 district. District 2 didn't have a representation on the board. So that's what I just remember vaguely how it was. But I'm sure you guys can pull up the members that are on there and know what districts they come from.
I did not do anything in general. I did it in actual reason because I'm trying to get past people. I'm done with that. Okay?
That's
So
your
as
opinion.
far as you're talking about, District 2, and 2 people on the board. I think still is a still, okay? But it was a mix.
Still do.
It wasn't all about the mix up to the most part. It was about you trying to get some people who would do the right thing. That's the bottom line. That's what was done. That's what it was done. Okay? The mix up, when you talk about the mix up as far as terms are concerned, it is because of the fact some council members, I don't have the name because it's not in this particular area. Some council members, okay, just wanted to have documents developed in a way that will benefit them. Okay, this is what happened. The truth is what happened. The truth is what happened. And I lived without one for a year and a half. Yes, I did give Mr. Hamburger, but he was the only one at that time, and still is. They had guts enough to step out there, no matter what people say about it, in order to save, how to save it from many of us that was here at the time wanting to go tomorrow. He went from my valley downtown. He did all he can, just as the situation right now. So that is the true story as far as the most part. I will not recant that. I will not recant that because that is what happened. That is that
Madam Chair, Madam Chair, and I also have a question with this ordinance. I wanna just look back through my paperwork. For one, it looks like my signature, but this looks like a stamp. And then another thing too, who prepared this resolution? Cause this does not look like the same one. Cause that's why I just took a picture of it just to get verification from someone else. But this, I don't know who prepared this resolution. Then it does not even have the city clerk's signature on here. There's no signature by the city clerk, and my signature looks like my stamp. So I'm not even for sure if this is the original ordinance that I received years ago. So I just want to have some research done on this ordinance, because this don't look like the same.
That's fine, Mr. Richard, that's what it is. You were sitting there for that.
But you just agreed to that you was okay with it. Did you vote no or yes? I mean, I'm just saying, when you originally made your statement.
And we got action, y'all. Y'all hit that share button. Here we go.
Councilwoman Norwood made her statement and asked me to give the reason why the council members then, it seemed as if you were against it. So like, were you for this then or were you against it?
What I'm saying is,
But I'm just saying, like, if we pull the minutes, I think in the minutes, I think that you stated that it wasn't fair. But I don't see how it was not fair 4 years ago, and Mayor Gardner's telling you now that it's not fair. So why is it fair this time? You get what I'm saying? 4 years ago, it wasn't fair, but then now it's fair for it to stay like this. But you voted no against this.
Oh boy, he didn't call it out. You did.
When I'm saying that you vote no or yes for this.
Boy, D, I got them receipts.
To try to get someone that will try to take care of business over there and not have themselves obligated to certain council members sitting here.
But you just mentioned control, so that means someone will be able to have control now. If a council member back then put 2 people on the board, you would have that happening now. So what you're saying is it's okay for one council? No, what I'm saying is back then, you stated that one council person was able to put 2 people on the water board. So I'm asking you, what's the difference now with council members putting 2 people on the water board than it was then?
I was giving an example,
Yeah, man, he eating up on
No, I'm
himself.
just saying, it's just like you kind of contradicting yourself because you're saying that it's okay now, but you're saying it wasn't okay then for a particular council member to put 2 people on there. But then it's okay for a council member to have 2 people from the same district on there
All
now.
right, man.
Madam
I'll tell
President,
you what you do is, make the motion, you say you want to, research it, that's what.
I just don't think this is the same ordinance because it don't even have a city clerk signature on here.
Exactly.
It looked like it's whited out or
So
something.
I didn't want to think about it, I didn't want to think about that.
And then that's my stamp, that's not my signature, that's a stamp.
Well, I think a lot of things that you should probably put these in that themselves. So I don't.
Madam
Yeah,
President,
it's part-time.
yes. Since there are such strong feelings about this issue, I would like to make a motion that we pull all relevant documents, get our attorneys to research them, and we get the ordinance committee together and make a decision how we want to proceed going forward.
Madam President, I think that was what we were supposed to be doing anyway. We were supposed to be gathering these papers, giving them to the attorney, so he can get with the city attorney, and they come up with the ordinance, then we, in the ordinance committee, whatever, look over, but that was the, point of this, all this here anyway, because we didn't have anything legal and to say anything to bystanders. Is that what we were supposed to be doing, Attorney
That
Harris?
is what we were supposed to do. We started this long ago, and still, even now, unfortunately, and I think it's the state of the records perhaps, that we still have, ordinances and resolutions creeping in from some time ago, we didn't realize had been on the books. So, but you're right. The idea was to gather them all and to take them all and find out where we stand.
And I'd like to add to that motion that the minutes from that date, when this was adopted, that they be researched also.
What's up, Ms. Rich?
And I want to add something to that, and I guess this is a question for Mayor Gardner. I don't know if you guys are familiar, like, I also want to have research to make sure that this ordinance is in line with the city of Prichard, the charter, and the state law. Because I don't think, for example, the council would now appoint housing board members, so I just want Attorney Harris so we can see if this ordinance that was created back 3 years ago, if it's in line with the charter and state law, because if it's not even legal for us council members to be appointed in that authority.
I'll take a look at it, but I don't see where this ordinance requires, with the council, any right to appoint members of the housing authority, that last trigger was the mayor, but I'll also don't have a problem.
From me reading this, it's not specifically saying the water board, it's just saying it is not identified in here, it needs to be specific. Like 1, 2, 3, if it's the housing authority, or if it's the water board, it's just all mixed in here together. So really, there's no, clarity in here, because I was looking for things that pertain specifically to the water board, but from reading this is pertaining to all boards. And that's not what we're here for, that's why we're in this, situation now. From what I can see, it needs to be verified and explained A, B, C. Just pertaining to the water board, not all these different boards mixing everything in. You got a gumbo here, and you need to separate what's in there. And I feel, on that side too, every council member up here should have the right to pick a council person, to go, to pick a board member to put them over there. Now, I don't know about the, what area they come from, but I feel that if you're in my house, you know what's going on in my house. So if you're in District 1, I would be looking for somebody in District 1, and there should be somebody in this district that's qualified. Everybody over there can't be absent-minded. So somebody in that district got to have some sense.
Yes, sir.
I just want to ask a couple of things. Under 143C, 143, it clearly states under whose authority whatever appointments are to be made. It's in there. Who's to make those specific appointments. But you ask your attorney, I really believe the council has the authority, contrary to whatever information you gathered, when it was gathered, whether it was signed, to take charge of what needs to take place in fixing the problem that we have, even the staggering of those who are appointed right now. I think you're in authority to go ahead and do those things as a body, as a legislative body of the city, and move forward as it relates to that. So whatever actions that the council is interested in taking as it relates to it, then the council should take that and then pass it maybe over to your attorney to verify that you're within your legal means.
I think that's what we do. Yeah. Thank you for that, though. That's important. But you stated, all council members should be well versed in that, because that is really right. You have a motion on the floor.
Yeah, need a second.
Okay. Need a second.
I'm supposed to have was researching
Well,
all the documents.
Okay, just the sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
motion that we pull together all documents relating to, these appointments, have the research, and our attorney review them, if needs to, with the city attorney also, and once we get their legal opinion, then the ordinance committee can review them, and we make a decision as far as going forward.
All this is with respect to the water, is that correct?
Yes.
And, before, I want to let you know, so, the citizen won't think that we just did what we were supposed to do. That request that you're making was made repeatedly, not only here up front with the citizen, but also by email a number of times. And I do want you to know, if you heard the word that the attorney stated, documents began just now a couple weeks, creeping back into this building in order to find some of the ones that we have been looking for. So that, I want that to be in the minutes, okay? It's not that it was illegal, it's because someone or something or somewhere, the documents got lost, removed, but suddenly someone showed back up about two and a half weeks ago. So I think that'd be part of it.
Madam Chair,
Okay?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I want to assert that many of us, like myself, when resolutions and ordinances are done, we make copies, place it into a appropriate place. Now, whether you do it or not, that's your prerogative. But to suggest that you're finding now that documents, as I've shared documents, that they're taken away from here, it's not the way to do this. You're suggesting that someone is taking legal documents from the city and doing something else with it. Everyone up here has an opportunity to make their copies of that ordinance, including whatever file that they control, like I do in my office, to ensure that I have a copy of what I need to have a copy of. And so if you don't have it, and if it does not appear in the clerk's office, that's someone else's error. But as long as I'm here, I'm gonna continue to make the copies that I need to make and make sure that I have what I need to have. And when if I don't have it, I bring it and put it before you, they certainly wouldn't take it from this building.
Well, I'm gonna clarify something as far as that's concerned. It wasn't just a document, a sheet of paper. It was books that was taken away from here somewhere, put here somewhere.
I don't know what you're
Okay.
referring to, man.
I'm making the statement because it is what happened there. And according to RDA, you know that. That is the agency that you can't remove, destroy any article, any document, any resolution, anything pertaining to the law unless you get permission from them. The books was gone there, and that was a fact, some of the books. Well, some of the books returned. Now, whether you know that or not, I don't know that. But that's what happened.
I'm only listening to what you
Okay,
shared and
that's-
manner what you're
But
sharing.
anyway, you have made my statement a record. You need a second, all right? A second. Now, the motion is second, roll call, please.
Councilor Williams,
Yes.
Johnson Norwood,
Yes.
Griffin,
Yay.
McCall,
Abstain, I came in the middle of the discussion, so I abstain.
President Edwards,
Yes. Motion passed, the entire.
President Edwards, before we move on, I would like to say that we've made these motions a number of times since we've been here. And it still stands that we're gathering information to give to attorney, and this has been going on for a whole month. I know a month. And that's why I asked the attorney, did he get all of these papers that was emailed out to us? And if there's some more that needs to go with these, did they have enough information what he and the attorney was supposed to get together and come up with, or because we keep voting on the same thing, we voted on this a number of times before, and we still vote on gathering more papers. We have papers here, and I don't know, the attorney said he haven't even looked at these that we do have, so I don't feel it's fair for us to keep on voting on the same thing. We have enough information here I said that the two attorneys need to get together and do what needs to be done, because we'll be voting up here till it's time for my appointment to be made.
Well, I suggest, Councilman Green, anyway, if you don't have the information, it doesn't need to be put back on the agenda until the information is received by the ones that it's referred to, along with administration and the council. That's what it should be. It doesn't need to be put on there and keep it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Reese.
But I'm asking, he said that he did not receive all that. Also, that he stated that Attorney Boucher, along with, and I think permission was asking mayor, administration, for them to get together.
I think he said he didn't read them, he didn't say he didn't receive them, because his name was on there. Did you receive them, Attorney Harris?
These two.
You just haven't read them?
These two resolutions on it that we have before today.
Those are the two you
I've
received.
seen
You haven't
these, I've
seen
seen
these?
these. I don't know.
They're all the papers that the clerk, did you have his name on that? Cause I thought I saw it on there.
She said,
But I can look at my computer there and make sure. Okay, the clerk said your name was on there, so you should have received
I
it.
have those what she said.
Okay, well, this was all we had to go by, plus the other two that Attorney Moshe said she had from the civil court.
Oh, those are children.
Uh-huh.
I've had them.
Madam Chair, I got a quick question before we move to the next item. Those, and I guess I was just, want to sound clueless when I ask this question. I don't know if Attorney Harris can answer it for me or not. So those black books with all the ordinances that we have in them, those are, can you, like as council members, can we take them off or no one? Those can't leave the property.
I don't think they should leave the property.
I'm saying, do we have a solid council? Cause I'm just asking, cause I thought I remember some, not trying, I know I can't say what happened, but I thought some book, the ordinance book was taken away to be able to, when the city clerk was transitioning, I thought the council members had the meeting and that you guys had the book and y'all was going over some ordinances.
No, I never seen
No, we
it.
did.
That's what y'all had said. That's why I was saying the book. we
Okay,
had-
then.
I guess when the meeting was
Tell it
passed,
like
y'all
it
said
is.
y'all had the ordinance book and y'all was trying to redo the ordinances. Councilwoman, you don't remember. You remember when the black, you said we had, that you and Attorney Harris was working on ordinances, because I think right now somebody came by your house and you was like, y'all was working on ordinances. And that's why I was saying, what do the book supposed to lead? Because that's what I'm saying, as council members, can we take them, or no one can
No,
take
no,
them
I'm
out?
gonna explain this with accusation.
It's not an accusation, I'm just asking a question.
When you said Mr. Rodney came by my house, he had to document the books. Mr. Rodney was fine, along with, I don't need to name, I have to take that home, okay? What happened at that time, I requested, when Mrs. Niles was leaving, her work was unfinished.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right, let me finish. What I did was call the mayor. I asked the mayor to allow Ms. Niles, because they had taken her keys, to allow her to go up on the weekend and complete her work, because no other person will be able to complete her work. The mayor gave me position, but stated that a council member would have to open the door for her to go in. Mr. Petway would be the person he said would give her the information that she needed. That was done. We followed what the mayor said. Finishing that, because of the fact, and I don't mind, I have my business. My husband, I did not have a caregiver at that on Saturday. I called the attorney and said to him to come to my house. The documents that Mrs. Niles completed. We have to make a list of everything in that folder of the work that she did. I asked for a witness, and that was Mr. George McCall. And during that time, there were people that went to the city cased my house. And it was caught on camera. They lied to say they rung my doorbell. They lied. One was parked across the street on Robinson Camp. When we finished certifying Then that was printed out, given to me, the stacks of folders, not a book. A rubber band was put around it with the certification that the attorney did, that every document that she did was in those folders. I took them to be notarized to state that it was there, was like. I came to the city hall. I went to the mayor's office and I asked him, where do you want, or who do you want these files to be given to? At that time, I didn't even know Mr. McMillan, the city clerk. He said to me, take them to the city clerk. I went to the city clerk, laid them there for him to go through, and I had, when he had to sign, that he received those orders. Because I do want to see about this case and I have the tape.
It's not about the case, I'm just not
Okay, but you
comfortable with this
say-
ordinance right here because
But
this is not.
you made an accusation with the.
It wasn't an accusation, I was asking you a question
Now, you
about
have
the
to
rules. Okay, Councilman, I do
But
apologize, I
that's the
appreciate you
story
clearing
and
it,
that's what
but I just wanted to know about
Okay.
the ordinance.
Okay, put it on, get that done.
Yes, it's passed.
No,
But I just would like to make one statement. This is like a prime example of the poor performance we have in regards to records, which are legal documents that cannot be removed. And at one time, I did not know the scope of Unicode, but Mrs. Edwards was proposing that we deal with Unicode. I have since then had the opportunity to go on many city sites, and the cities that are most progressive and most organized, they have Unicode. You can go on their websites and you can go down the list and you can look at the ordinances. So at some point in the future, we need to look at our past performance and we need to do better, a lot better. And that's for the record.
Well, we just wish you make a decision.
Council Anna Lee, your, status of paperwork, that's on there, and the big truck ordinance.
On the big truck ordinance, Ms. Lucia did send me some paperwork on there, and I've received other items, Chief Knight turned in something to go on there, so maybe we'll be able to call a meeting on this ordinance. But I would, just like to say, unfortunately, there was two trucks across the street there in front of City Hall, a red one and a white one, and I understand someone took a picture of the two trucks when we left out of here for council meeting, but unfortunately, yesterday, a young lady was hit, two ladies was hit yesterday, they was in a car, that white truck blinded them, and they thought the way was clear, and another, I think it was a Ford 150 come around there and hit them head on. And to make a long story short, one of the girls ended up in the hospital, and one of them had to go, her hand was broken. And this is because of the truck was on the street and it was blocking the view of the oncoming, traffic. And I just feel it was just ironic that I brought that up when you see that happen right here in front of City Hall yesterday. So these trucks are very dangerous. And, I think we may have enough information here to, call a meeting. Ms. Evans, I know you was over the ordinance committee when I first started here. So were you looking to call another ordinance meeting about the big trucks, or
Are you
how do
stating,
you
you
want us
stating
to?
that you want to call it down? As I understand that you have the information,
Okay, well,
okay,
that's
if
all.
you have the information, it's good and strange that you can get it settled, and I've been asking for it for a long time, but,
Well, certainly, Miss,
only thing
Miss,
that,
Miss Lucius gave it to me, so,
the only thing,
well, she gave it to me.
okay, Okay, but let me just say, you want to refer that to the attorney to incorporate the information as far as the amount, which was likely to come from other, when it comes from the law enforcement.
So the ordinance is ready except for the ticket amount that you're saying.
That's what we were waiting on, and also as far as anything else. It was sent out to the council members number of times, for them to peruse it, and always was asked, if you have recommendation, insertion, or deletion, please email the secretary. Okay, but if that's what you need to do, that can be submitted to him, and what he can do is, because he has been waiting on the same thing, as far as how much we can write a ticket for. If anything else needs to be incorporated regarding the ticket, he will be able to do that.
If I may, we found an ordinance that has surfaced that has the fines, et cetera, for violations of what it should be, the truck should be. And I think when you take a look at them, you have an old ordinance that now has surfaced. You have the one that we were looking at before, and I think that's the third one. What I really believe we should do, the best thing we should do is a committee should take these, so we can meet and go over them, and from that session, we need to develop a new ordinance. They all have some deficiencies.
So you have three ordinance that have service regarding the big truck attorney has.
I'm sorry, ma'am. The most recent one we just got, I have a copy.
You have three, cause this is ordinance, what, 1879?
They have 1879, I believe there are at least one, maybe two more. There's a proposed ordinance.
Well, this is the only one I have.
Is that the one for the 3/4 ton, anything over 3/4 ton?
This, 1879 ordinance is the only one I have.
I don't have that ton, I can tell you.
I know we have two that were adopted, they have numbers. But that was a third one that was being proposed, for adoption. And it lacked some of the things, important things that were in the older, versions. So I believe we ought to do is take them all, committee, sit down and decide what we really want, and adopt, prepare a resolution around it, what an ordinance would.
Let me just say this, is have us into, Councilwoman Davis. We began as far as working in the truck ordinance, it was prior to, Attorney Harris. Not hired, still here as an attorney. It then went to Marcus Fox. He began working on it. From that instant, Mr. Harris came back there, it still was working. So that was one of the things, but the main thing was, because I think previously that they had all the orders of the children. In order to develop, I say the Lord,
I don't have nothing given this one.
but it was two or three old ordinances. That one of them had probably two short paragraphs, okay? It did not have the outline of the routes or anything in there. It did not redirect the traffic from inner city, with the exception of ones that were doing businesses in the city. Okay? The other thing that needs to be done following the council getting the ordinance completed and voted on it, no matter which direction. You then have to have the appropriate sign along the entire truck route that has been suggested in place before that the police can also devise. That's it. So, what would you like to do?
So it needs to be, some of, I think, the, attorney
I think we need to take a committee, sit down and go over these things and harmonize.
So when do we do that? Do we have any,
Form a committee, that's a form council committee.
cause I think we already have an ordinance committee already.
Well, Attorney Harris, can we get all, since we only have one ordinance, can you get the other two that you found, so we all have the same documents and review them?
Sure. So as they come up, I'll ask the clerk to go through and find them. Send a copy each time, whatever comes up, send a copy to everyone to see.
Yeah,
Chair,
yes, sir.
and also, thank the chief, police also sent some recommendations to be had.
And that was the amount of the ticket, am I right? That was the amount of the ticket, with along with some other information.
With some more, yes.
You have a copy. Okay. Okay, the motion, make the motion, the one you have.
I'll make a motion that the, Attorney Harris gather the other, ordinance and bring back this to us, the information, where we can formulate a committee and, put this ordinance into motion as soon as possible.
Need a second on that, please?
Second.
The motion is second, roll call, please.
Councilor Williams,
Yes.
Councilor Norwood,
Yes.
Griffin,
Yay.
McCall,
Yes.
President Elder.
Yes, motion passed. Next item, please.
Assistant training for city clerk.
So that is, mine, I kind of incorporated and looked at the agenda. Several items under one item. The first is, the assistant. As you remember, I did bring to the council as far as to move forward on an assistant, which is we talked about the, technical, equipment, okay, really equipment. You all were giving me permission, to move forward on that. I did send an email to the personnel board. What now I have to do is, if the council give permission to ask the personnel board to please put a release. The next thing that is needed from the council is how you wanna go the process, and I'll let you all choose it. The process that you want to, as far as to go about. If a selection is made, if a list is put out as far as how you want to interview. Do you want the committee, or do you want the council, or do you want as far as the city clerk, or, to interview first and refer? You all need to tell me in writing, what do you want, how you want the process to go. So, number one, that I am requesting, asking permission to move forward to request a list. It was stated that they have a list. I am, with permission of the council, to ask them to please put up a new list. As far as that is concerned. That's number one. So that's my motion, and then I'll bring the second and the third.
I have a question. We are voting on an assistant to help the clerk.
Assistant to the.
Have we had this position before?
No, this is the first time it's been, you remember, we got an attorney general's opinion. And what was stated is, as far as what the council had their authority. And that was given out, and also along with another document to verify, was given back to prior to, taking the beginning the process of the clerk that we have now. All of this was given to the council. All of it. So, the only thing I'm asking how you want to proceed, if you don't want me to proceed, that's fine. But that's all I'm asking for.
I'm gonna, there needs to be some continuity and some, gelling, because I see a lot of division coming here, with what's going on here, first of all. And, we're not coming together, we are separating even more. In the fact that we have an assistant clerk over there, and then you got a clerk, you got an assistant clerk, now you got to get an assistant to the assistant. There needs to be some continuity of people coming together and not separating. We're separating too much here now.
Ms. Williams, this is like a technical person, a clerk, no one to take no one else's position. And not only that, let me just say this, because, we always speak as far as we. And sometimes I think it's because we don't have the guts to stand up and look at and see where separation, not working together, not communicating, how things are done. We don't look at what is the truth. Okay? It's we. Okay? And I think these council members also, I think are on the first know where the chaos is coming from. But the problem is we don't have anyone to stand up and have the guts to address it. And I am the one that is usually the one that is put out there as being the troublemaker, which it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all with me. My name gets thrown out there like mud. In secrecy, behind closed doors, and everything else.
We said we're gonna get
But
back
I
to
am going to finish as I allow it to. Okay?
Okay, but I have something to say.
You respect it?
You respect it.
You respect it. But my thing is, only thing I ask you for, if you don't want to proceed with it, the only reason I put it on here is because when I asked for someone to take my place with this process, no one wanted. So if the council don't want to move forward, only thing on one person, I said, this is not what we want. And they said that's it. That's it. Because I know where the trouble comes from. I do. I know what has been done to throw this in chaos. And you know what? Most of the council members know too. But the problem is, Mrs. Williams, some people just don't have that stand to it, to stand up for what is right and what they see that is wrong. And this is what is happening in this case.
You may not want to discuss this, what you're talking about, I don't have no idea what you're referring to. No, I do not. I do not have any idea what you're referring to, and I wish you would stop talking under your breath when you're saying things and be warm enough.
We got action again, y'all. Hit that show
We're
button.
talking about us not standing up. I stand up for whatever I believe in. Now, for you to stand over there, sit over there under your breath and say that, and you do it all the time, you need to stop it. I know if I knew, I would not be asking you. I'm asking you, what are you talking about? Because you make accusations and you don't never come up with nothing. And I used to sit out there in their audience and listen to you do that all the time and believe everything you say, but it's a different story when you're sitting on this seat up here.
Council, how do you want to handle this situation?
I personally think it's too many people, and I don't see why Mr. Maxwell can do the job. That's what I had that spring. You got 3 people in that little 12-foot square office, 12-foot square, how it is. just too much going on. I don't see, it's just like, even when she pronounced it, a city clerk and then an assistant city clerk and then an assistant to the city clerk. That right there tell you that's a lot going on. Why is that person needed when you got two people in there? I just think it's just the way to just kind of camouflage, I guess, someone to stay that y'all didn't want to get rid of, but I just think it's too much going on. That's where that salary is coming from. Is that much money over there in the city clerk office?
Yes, it is that much money, because all of just about it is a ghost place over there, yes.
Yeah, I'm not in agreement with you.
But that's fine, that's fine,
But I'm not in agreement.
but that's fine, and that's why I'm asking if you want the process stopped. That was put on the shelf. That was asked of you. You all voted, whoever did vote for it, enough vote for to move on with the process. That's all.
Exactly. That's why I go live, so you people can find out what's going on. But people rather do other things and pay attention.
I'm not voting for it.
That's fine. That's fine. Any other council members?
Madam Chair, you would make a recommendation, on this, item here that we hold up on it, not saying that we need it or not, but make sure that we have the funds in place to move forward on this, because we do need assistance in there, because we got plenty of work for everyone to do in that office. So I do agree that we need someone to, help out with the filing records and et cetera. But, right now, I think we need to just hold off on it for right now, and let's look at our finance, and then we can move forward at that time.
I have a question, Mr. McCall. At what time would you like to bring it back? You said after we.
I'm sorry.
I was asking a question to Mr. McCall. He recommends that we put this off, and I'm asking for a time frame.
2 to 3 weeks, so we do with the finance director, and that's.
That means August,
look
y'all.
at the other reports that we, do in, for this month, then we can, move forward about 2 weeks or so.
Last 2 weeks. So July.
I will get
As I said, 2 weeks.
because it's not hard to see where the money is, okay? So is that your motion?
Yes, ma'am.
I need a second.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call please.
Councilor Williams,
In 2 weeks. I'm on, vote no.
Johnson Norwood,
Yes.
Griffin,
I'm abstaining.
McCall,
Yes.
President Edwards.
Yes, motion passed. Next item, another item that takes care of the number one item, okay? The second is training for the city clerk. If you remember, initially, I sent out a calendar of workshops that were needed, because she is a new person. And there was a calendar of the workshops for clerks. That was passed and accepted. We did all of them at one time. I have information, and I think it was submitted to all the council members. There is the Fall Institute workshop coming up on October, we held October the 19th, the 21st in Tuscaloosa. The winter conference will be November the 30th to December the 2nd. You'll have that information as far as everything outlined, as far as the cost on that. This is just for your information only. And it's done in a timely fashion so that whatever needs to be done for registration and so forth, as it comes upon, it will be done. Information The next thing that I had on here, as far as the training, for someone to come in, I've been trying, the council agreed to that, for someone to come in, I still need the agreement on our contract for that to be done. Uh, Preferably, would love to come in on Saturday, so we quietness, um, so that the person will be able to understand and have their hands on the back end and what. I will refer that again back to your attorney, to please get an agreement and or contract, however it's available to do.
You can explain what that is, and it was, cause I remember the one about the training, but what was that second one you were talking about coming in on Saturday?
This is the someone that comes in on, as far as training on some items that is needed. For an example, the elections, that is the biggest task that you can imagine. It's a lot involved legal wise, it's a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of responsibility that is on. And also regarding certain guilty documents, that is needed. If you are new at this, just like we've had others new, as a council person, as a city clerk, you need to have someone with the expertise to come in and help you. Hands on. Just as we did as training business, hands on.
Oh, so you were referring to somebody coming in on Saturday to work with her?
Hands on.
Okay, cause I thought you were talking about the council coming in. That's why I was asking you to explain, cause I didn't understand.
I didn't have any expertise in that. No, I know.
No, I thought you was asking for somebody to come in to help us. That's what I was referring to. It wasn't clear.
Question, Madam Chair.
Yes, yes, sir.
When you were asking that someone would come in on a weekend, would you share with what that person, who that person may be?
But you stated in the meeting what you thought it was. Yeah, it will be, if she agrees, Miss Jackie now, because she was good. She was good.
I would tell you now, I would think that would be a bad idea, but secondly, if you send someone to training, particularly for what you just shared, that you thought that she may be trained for, there are other from downtown, at the, well, first example is one, but the other one would be the probate judge. They have classes to that same matter that she could attend and go to and get all the information that's
Okay,
necessary.
that's just one example when I was telling Ms. Williams about. Okay, it doesn't matter with me, but it's the same thing, and I give an example, it's going through medical school. You have hands-on. It's different in reading, getting the theory than doing hands-on. It doesn't make any difference. Any council member can recommend who they want. It just needs to be. It needs to be. That's all I'm thinking about. Now, if the council don't want that, then tell me what it was agreed upon prior to, because I've been bringing it up front over and over again. Okay? And that way, if that can't be done, the council don't want it, then I will remove it off the agenda.
Well, she, did need some form of training, but I noticed when you've been kind of bringing this, it appeared that you were just kind of beat around getting it there. Now I see why. But the thing is that, and we're talking about people being women standing up for what you believe in. If you wanted Ms. Niles, you could have went on and said that instead of beating around the bush for over 2 or 3 weeks about that. So now her name have come up. But I feel that if they have that down in probate, that buyers let her go where they can do their training for her, and she can say, I'm from professional people, but she got it from not somebody that has been here and left here.
But Ms. Williams, it's amazing how you.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
Let me just say this. I have had excuses. I have not hidden anything. I have not hidden anything. Not at all. And I don't understand, it always come up that I didn't understand what you were saying.
It's
I
amazing.
think I have stated the process as it relates to the city clerk. I have stated over, I try my best to do the process and not to have anything hidden. Sometimes it's convenient to say I don't care, but I don't think I mistake a step anything as far as giving information regarding this particular, as far as working with this city code. So my thing is, what I need to know, because actually, I've done the best I can. And every time, even though I give the process, every time there's something, someone pretend or act like they didn't hear me say. But it has been said over, in writing, someone, in writing, but yet I didn't say it. So let me just ask, if a council, number one, I just want one answer. Do you want your process to stop right now? Because I am really, really, kind of tired that I have everything is trying to make us give up time to do something wrong. And that is not my intention. I'm not that type of person.
Ms. Edwards, if she needs the training, she needs to get the training, but I feel she needs to get the training from the proper people, not someone that has been here before and left this facility. If they have it at the personnel board or downtown where the judges are, let her go there and get it. And I even read what she went to some of the other clerks here in the surrounding, city, and she said that she got some good information from them. But to keep rehashing stuff, and I'm not, you keep bringing it up, but what I'm saying, you're not ABC with it, what I mean with that being clear. And it's obvious to me, I can look down there and see with the wringing of the hands and everything that you're trying to say something, but you don't know how to get it out. So when you say it was now, then I understood why we keep going over this. Let the young lady go with professional people and they tell her what she needs to do. Now, that's my opinion with that. Not rehashing stuff, bringing people back in here that have left here, and like you said, you had at your house going through things, and regardless of what you're saying, that was illegal.
Well, let me just say this.
With you being down there at your house with Mr. McCall and the attorney and yourself. So if she needs training, she appears to be knowledgeable enough to listen to anybody to get trained.
You know what, I'm gonna say this before we're done, because, you know, you're defaming me in a way because I did not state that this now is ever burned my house.
Well, I might have misunderstood.
Well, you always misunderstand. And just like I stated, I gave an example, Ms. Williams, when we were asked about training hands-on, I gave an example for an example. The voting is a big, big job. That's an example. That's an example.
Madam President, I think my viewpoint is we do owe this new clerk training. And if it's just the fact that we can't agree on a person, then let's find another person. But I do believe, out of all fairness, she should not have had to go and seek training on her own, to go down to Mobile City Clerk, and go down to Saraland City Clerk. It is our duty to provide training for her. Now, if our only disagreement is who does the training, let's find someone we can all agree on, and let's get the training, because it's long overdue. And she is struggling and trying to do the best she can. So, Ms. Williams, do you know of someone that would come in and train her one-on-one on?
They said the personnel board. So we give the rules and regulations. I would say go back to the personnel board, just as we would, since we brought up about nursing, just as we would go to the board of nursing. We don't seek information from other nurses or somewhere out, let her go to the personnel board, that's the proper thing to do. And if anything is taught or wrong, then they can
So
be
you won't
held
have to be on the phone right
accountable for it. If you get somebody out in the street to come back here to teach her, that woman is not accountable for that. Go back to the personnel board. And you take notes and everything, and if they tell you something wrong, you come out your mouth. And she takes good notes.
Well, does the personnel board have the trained person? If they do, that's the solution.
That was never. I had explained to you as far as bringing someone. Give us a training handout. So if that person has the knowledge of personnel board, we're able to provide this training for them, then why not say it back sometime? That's all I'm saying. So, where are you now?
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we inquire the personnel board as far as a trainer for our city clerk. And let's get our facts straight. And I volunteer to call and find out what they have available and bring it back to the council.
Thank you, Mr.
Call
Second.
ALM as well, if you're gonna do that, call LWD with this house, and they offer classes as well.
Thank you, Mayor. I will do that
Yeah,
also.
other means of being, to get what you need.
I second that motion.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
my recommendation, I guess you have to check with the personnel board, but I don't solely think that they would have training for that. Is there, I think there's like a clerk association that she probably could join, that I think there are classes there, like a clerk association, I don't think the personnel board is gonna have training for her. There's like some clerk association classes that she could pick up and join them, and that'll offer like the training that she would need.
Yeah, I was just like that.
That's gonna be, I think, the option, the only option, if you did bring in an outside person, I think where she's been going is probably gonna be the option. Cause I don't think the personnel board is gonna have any, training for maybe a clerk association. Or you find someone that you could bring in to train, or, train her, I think that's gonna be the only training.
I appreciate that.
Councilman Griffin, my baby, Ms. Evans, you do have access to OAC, that's how the city clerk was acquired. So OAC is online hiring center. The online hiring center also provides access to the personnel board and the training. We have to realize that the training extends past just a city clerk duty. It also includes management, secretarial duties, and things that are a supportive role that she can absolutely add to her training criteria. So there's advanced training you consider directly toward the city clerk, but then there's also a supportive role that we already pay for through the personnel board that Mayor Gardner was mentioning that you have access to, and it'll show you a drop-down menu. And we'll be more than happy, myself or TJ, so we have access to OAC to show you that training module. And Ms. Gloria Reed does a phenomenal job at helping the city clerk, our personnel, finance directors, myself included, with those training courses and supervisory courses as well. So the courses and training to help and support the role that she's in are there inside of OAC, which you have access to.
Okay, are you stating the same thing, in other words, are you saying that the personnel board has been available?
They have training available. That's what I'm saying. They have scheduled training. They show you the dates, the time. You can apply for it in advance. They have online visual aid training, Zoom training. You don't even have to go in. You say at stage office and they train. They train them online. Some of those certificates I have in my office as I'm speaking.
Mrs. Norwood, thank you, sir.
No problem, Madam Chair.
Mrs. Norwood,
Yes, ma'am.
would you please kind of look into that for the council?
I'm putting it in my calendar as we speak.
That means that you have to go down to the personnel board and talk to them, and get the necessary that you need.
And Madam Chair, and, Councilwoman, Norwood, you check into that. Now, I have something here, they have, the University of Alabama offers a Alabama municipal, clerk training. It's a certification, for municipal clerks, and a master's, clerk academy are held biannually at the University of Alabama. Tuscaloosa campus, and the annual conference is held at locations around the state. So this probably is something, I think this would be a good training course for her. It's at the University of Alabama. I sure will.
Okay, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Okay,
It's got October 19th through the 21st,
I think that.
and November 30th through December the 2nd.
Yeah, I think that is the one to. That's all
This is one of the training that,
Okay.
October.
October 19th. Yeah, October 19th.
November is the one in Tuscaloosa.
It says here you got October 19th through the 21st in Tuscaloosa, and then you got November 30th through December 2nd. It's in Marriott Shoals Hotel. It's probably in Florence.
Right there.
That's the one that tonight we did. Because of that, it was on the calendar back to the conference, so some of us don't remember. We did a calendar of training, where we had all the course workshops and so forth. And so the next one is the one that you read, okay? October and November.
October one in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, and one is one, okay?
Y'all get out of research these?
They were sent out in the email, I think Ms. Lucius, or the other one Ms. Lucas sent out. This is the email Ms. Lucius sent out about,
And it was on the calendar, back here, weeks ago. But just did a calendar of all the workshops that they recommend. So the council did pass that. This was put on for Tuscaloosa and for Florence, Alabama. So, prior to that time, they began, doing the necessary paperwork. I think so, yeah.
But some hands-on training.
Yeah,
We
that's
do
what
like
I'm-
Ms. Niles or somewhere.
That's what I was looking for, hands-on.
Well, the hands-on training, Madam Chair, as Mayor Gardner was stating for ALM, it's called the CMO Regional Training to strengthen the core fundamentals in municipal government. 2022, those training dates specifically for city clerk and achievement awards can also be obtained. It's on June 22nd, July the 27th, September the 21st. Additional training dates are 22nd in Dothan, the 27th in Multi-Shoals, and then Orange Beach. And those dates, times, and address and sessions are available on ALMonline.org. I say again, ALMonline.org. That's provided by ALM, which is a service we also pay for.
Because I saw the years, I was like, there are numbers that are online. Okay, thank you so much. Ms. Smallwood, you received one, okay?
yes, I was,
And please report back to the council, the email, okay, or however you need to. Can I have, just for this, go with me for
Consent.
consent.
consent? Thank you. Next item, please.
Adoption of resolutions, gun violence.
Okay, we have the resolution, I was looking to see, I don't think that Mr. Lacy is here today, but he is the one that's really responsible. He spoke before the council on last week about gun violence. It was a request that was made that a resolution would be developed and signed by all council members of the administration, and to send to Montgomery, regarding as far as gun violence, and that is, that's what they got. Do you want to read that resolution, Ms. Lucius?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
A resolution urging the Alabama members of the United States Senate and House of Representatives to jointly support measures preventing gun violence. Whereas the city council and mayor of the city of Prichard, Alabama, is keenly aware of the gun violence that plagues not only our city, but also the gun violence that plagues our state of Alabama and the United States as a whole. Whereas individuals with guns injure and kill thousands of Americans each year through homicides, suicides, and accidental deaths. Whereas the number of Americans that have died of gun violence over the past 30 years through homicides, suicides, and accidental deaths exceeds see the number of Americans that have been killed with guns that have died in all our wars combined. Whereas the mayor and city council and mayor of the city of Prichard are especially aware of the number of gun injuries and deaths suffered by residents in the city of Prichard each year, and whereas the city council and mayor of the city of Prichard are supporters of reasonable measures to curb gun injuries and deaths in this country, and especially our city of Prichard, Alabama. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Prichard, Alabama as follows. The city council and mayor of the city of Prichard, Alabama respectfully urges the Alabama members of the U.S. Senate and the Alabama members of the U.S. House of Representatives jointly and severely to do all things reasonable and necessary to support and enact legislation that would, at a minimum, make it easier for law enforcement personnel to track the purchase, use, and sale of guns in this country, and to pursue criminals who use guns to commit crimes. Require all gun buyers to pass a criminal background check, no matter where the gun is purchased or from whom it is purchased. Ban the sale of military-style assault weapons, as well as high-capacity magazines of clips that hold more than 10 bullets at a time. Support the availability and funding of mental health and substance abuse treatment so that all individuals who are in need of help have sufficient access to these services, and the support of enhanced mental health services for children and adults. This resolution shall become effective immediately upon its adoption as required by law.
That is a great resolution, that, Mr. Lacy, Charles Lacy, came before the council, and he spoke with regard. And we can all agree that we have problems, not only in the city of Prichard, but seemingly all over the world at this point. I would like to make a motion that certainly the resolution also that the copy, one sign of the resolution be sent to our representatives as far as in Montgomery, and also a copy that is signed to Mr. Charles Lewis. That's my motion.
Second.
The motion is second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Johnson Norwood,
Yes.
Griffin,
Yay.
McCall,
Yes.
President Edwards.
Yes, motion passed. Next item, please.
New business progress report regarding the safeguarding of documents, cost agreement, and or contract and company.
Okay, this is an item that I placed on the agenda, and what I am requested from administration, restate my request, please.
Progress report regarding the safeguarding of documents, cost and agreement, and or contract and company.
And I would like to add on who is in charge. Okay. That is my motion, I need a second, please.
Second.
Motion is second, roll call, please.
Councilor Williams,
Yes.
Johnson Norwood,
Yes.
Griffin,
Yay.
McCall,
Yes.
President Edwards.
Yes, motion passed.
Madam Chair, can we re-emphasize what we stated last week, in regard to the desire of the mayors to have those things formulated in a memorandum and submitted to administration to ensure that the accuracy of what we collected, what we provide is in lieu of what's being asked for?
The only thing that I'm asking for is because for number one, if you remember, that the council remembered, that it was stated in council meeting some time ago, when the council tried to introduce and get as far as this was utilized in Unicode, it was stated by administration that they had, and Mr. Rodney, you presented something to the council as far as you all taking, in other words, going to do the work. So what I am asking for, number one, who is doing the work? Number two, what is the cost? Number three, where's the agreement and our contract? number in a timely fashion so they be able to peruse it, okay, and get a good understanding. So if there's any question, they will call and try to verify on email, okay? That's what we're asking, all right?
That makes sense, Madam
Okay, that's the clarify, that's the clarify. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Mobile food mart,
I don't know why that we should not have had that on there.
okay,
Yeah, we should, I should have been, that was passed, it has been passed.
okay, that was, I thought that was something.
Yeah, that was passed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor's report,
Very good.
The bid,
I'm sorry.
Miss,
Mr. McCall,
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
on the, bid committee, report, on last week, we, approved the, nomination and the voucher from last week. But after we looked at it, the dates was wrong, so we just wanted to clarify the correct dates, from last week, when we approved the, nomination and sent it out to be publicized for bids. We, had previous, the 15th, 17th, and 21st for the dates for the ads to run in the newspaper requesting bids for nomination and voucher and non-voucher. But those dates are still the 15th, 17th, 21st. It's June the 15th, 17th, and 19th. Cause simple fact, the Prichard only put out 3 papers that's on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So those are the dates they will be running on 15th, 17th of June. Previous, we had the closing on June the 21st, which we had to move that because we have to give at least a week in order for whoever want to go out and look to see if they want to put in a bid, give them at least a week. So previously we had the 21st, now we changed that to June the 27th at 4 p.m. will be the closing bid date. The public open, previously we had the 22nd, which now the public open will be at 1 p.m. on June the 28th. And the water was previous to 23rd, now it will be on June the 3rd. Those are the dates that we need to correct in the minutes for last Thursday.
And resolution, you got that?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Also,
That is for the added record,
Yes.
more information.
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Also, in my report, we did, send a letter to, LDOT, to Mr. Hood, stating that, this would be made on another record. In fact, clerk already have a copy of the letter where we, did the final exception that we accept that the, project for the Worcester Street sidewalk had been completed and everything was, in order, and the contractor, he did publicize for 3 weeks, a section week, so if anybody have any complaint, they really did, so he did do that. So we would close that out, send it to AirDOT, letter, the mayor already sent a letter to them, so we want to make this another record. That this is the, final close, so now we is requesting for the last drawdown from the contractor, so we can do this drawdown.
Okay, well, so we did the walk,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, and I know you do,
We had
that
some,
was cracked,
we took out, care all of that.
we took care of all,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
The, project manager, they went back out and inspected and everything was checked off according to the, list that we made during that day. Madam Chair, Also, as I stated last week, we had 2 bids ready to go out. The first one is for a rebid for the municipality complex, TAP 18922, and this will be set to go out to run in the newspaper for June the 19th, June the 26th, and July the 3rd. They have to be ran 3 times, once every week. So those are on Sundays, 19th, 26th, and July the 3rd. The pre-bid conference will be held Wednesday, July the 6th at 10 a.m. here in the auditorium of the complex. And the closing and opening of the bid will be done on July the 13th at 1 p.m. here at the complex. We will close out at 1 p.m. on the July the 13th. Immediately, the sealed bids will be open following the 1 p.m. That's for the rebid for the municipality complex. The same date for Ella Grant sidewalk, we'll run them on the same date, June 19, 26, and July the 3rd. This is a new bid for the TAP 19-928. This is for the Ella Grant project sidewalk, and the same dates for the pre-bid conference will be following the hour after the municipality, and the closing will be at 1:30 and open meeting at 1:30 on July the 13th. This met 2 DC copies to you also. Madam Chair, also, this is not part of the bid, but since we're talking about the roads and everything, this is, I did attend the MPO meeting today at 2 o'clock downtown, and I do have these to share with the council members for your review of the meeting. It's something that we need to get together on. If we are aware, I'm quite sure y'all been hearing on the news about the new connection bridge from Mobile County to Baldwin County, the new bridge they building. The Eastern Shore and Mobile Metro Planning Organization is the organization. They meet and they come up with these agreements, and then they bring it back to the MPO members for us to decide if we're gonna go with it or not. But they had pretty much agreed to this document here, which they moving forward on it, and this is something that we need to sit down and have a discussion on, because if you look at page 2 or 4 about the toll-free routes, I believe we're gonna have an issue there, so we need to sit down and discuss about some of this and put a package together for them, present to them before they move any further. If not, we're gonna be left behind. We're gonna have more costs to the city if we don't put something together to present to them. They have a toll schedule. We need to deal with all of this. They have toll fee for the trucks, and so I believe there's gonna be some issues that we're gonna run into, especially for the toll-free routes that will be routed back through the city. So we need to discuss this, the council and the mayor, and put a package together to help our city out and cash in on some of this revenue.
May I ask you a question, Mr. LaPointe?
Yes, ma'am.
In other words, I know the issue back here some time ago, it was that they want to reroute, some of that traffic, over that Compton Bridge, Plateau.
Yes,
Plateau
ma'am.
Town,
Yes, ma'am.
which will be an overflow as far as to the city of Prichard.
Right.
Yeah, that's what
So,
you wanna do, it needs to be.
We need to, sit down and have a deeper discussion because there's more to this than what's actually on the paper.
Was actually.
Yes, ma'am. They have several different other routes, alternative routes that, they can go, travel also. But mainly, I'm just concerned about coming through this way.
Just to add to that, one of the things we probably need to do is insist upon having an impact study done on the roadways in which we will be affected by that movement. And certainly that costs money, so we should ask them to be responsible for such an impact study to be done to the impact that it's going to have on this city and its roadways. And I think with conversations that making sure that that they are going to be responsible for these roadways and all this heavy trucks that will be traveling on it and maintain those roads where it may impact the city because of what it is. But that will come with further conversation as it relates to it. But initially, I really believe we should make a request for an impact study for the route that's coming through our city.
That's, in the bid report. Madam Chair, financial report. Only thing I have on that, and, with that, well, two things. First thing from last week, just give you the status report. We are getting close to, Mobile Community Action to, getting the funds. They should be ready, to accepting, appointments. If not next week, week after next, they're gonna give me a definite answer. This week, which tomorrow, after they finish their training and, getting all the, documents they need and the guidelines from, EDEC. So hopefully by next week, we'll have, some information to share with, you all and also the citizens, so, they can get some assistance with the, water bills. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that information. Is it possible that you would get the actual contact?
I will have all of that. Once they,
Because it's difficult going to the main number. It's because for some reason, most times you can't get it to the number.
but they going, once they, release everything, they're gonna let me know the, procedure they'll be utilized to do this. Also, finance, did have a brief conversation, concerning some other issue, and I would give the floor, to the mayor in that respect.
Mr. McCall, thank you for yielding for me to share some information as it relates to what I believe we have a critical point here in the city, particularly as we talk about public safety, both fire and police. As you pretty well know, and I've had this discussion over the years, the city of Prichard has always been the training ground for other cities, police and fire. We'll train them and stay here a year or so, and of course, other cities will recruit them for higher pay. We're in a critical period now that we cannot continue on the path that we are on as it relates to this. I just want to share with you very briefly, and I think in the next finance committee meeting, we really need to do a deep dive and having some real conversation. The pay scale in public safety for law enforcement, Mobile County Sheriff Department, pay starts at $18.51. That's for dispatch. Mobile County law enforcement pay scale starts at $20.44 for Mobile County Sheriff Department. All police officers receive $13.11 an hour. I started by saying the dispatch in Mobile County, $18.51. Dispatch. Our law enforcement officers who put their life on the line every day on the streets, $13.11. I don't have to tell you how easy it is for other cities to come and recruit our people with all the training that we give them. We got to have an opportunity to raise these salaries so that we're competitive with others. Mobile County Sheriff Department, $20.44. Mobile County Mobile Police Department, $19.97. Creola, $17.20. Sarawan, $17.20. Centronel, $16.57. Fowler Battery, $16.22. Satsuma, $15.99. Mount Vernon, $15.06. Chickasaw, $14.81. City of Prichard, $13.11. Our situation, we call it, the cause and effect of it is that it makes it too easy for another agency to just snatch them up. What young man and young woman that's in law enforcement is going to stay in a situation where really the pay is not really a good living wage, to be honest. Place their life on the line each and every day. It's critical. It's critical here. And it's going to continue. We're losing police officers and firemen every single week. Every week. Due to pay. And not only that, when I share this in terms of dealing with just pay alone, because of the shortness that we have, we're paying even more in overtime. And we're paying time and a half. That means that we have individuals who are being overworked, tired. So again, I say to you, it's critical. There is no difference for our fire department. Our pay at the fire department is $13. Others are 19 and 20. $6 and $7 more than where we are. We're losing firemen every week for the same reason.
Y'all paying attention now. Realizing that is not the mayor's fault. The council has.
So I'm asking council at the next finance meeting that we have some serious discussions on how to bring this pay up and make us competitive with others so we can keep these men and women that we need here in this city to protect our citizens. This is not a labor, this is a now. So I beg of you, let's look at the budget. Let's do some things that will impact where we are and our circumstances. We can no longer accept this low pay and think we're going to keep the men and women we need to protect this city. Thank you.
Very broadly, I would just like to say that those two issues that you just brought before us, we did discuss those, and Chief Hale was in there with us in public safety and public works meeting today. And Mr. Already, the president, we've already said that we need to set back see if we can get what they need. We know we don't have the businesses here that the other cities have, first of all, we don't have the businesses. But I sure think that something could be done, we make it more $13. I'm sure Ms. Norman is in agreement with me on that, but we have got to look at this budget. Because some of the things we heard in public safety, I wouldn't even want to bring them up right now, because two of the critical things we looked at was the personnel, which is due to lack of salary, and the high. If we look at that, then that's a safety issue for everybody sitting in the city of Prichard.
I think you, and that's what we, not later with that.
And something that we do.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
we'll be sending out a schedule to have this discussion. We'll be sending some out across the mail, let you know when once we check the schedule. That's the end of my financial report.
Your information, Madam Director.
Yes, ma'am.
Your information, Madam Director.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question there.
Consent.
Consent item.
Mayor's report.
Once again, I want to take an opportunity to share with council as we look forward to this week in our Juneteenth celebration. As you can see over to my right, there is some displays as it relates to our Juneteenth celebration. We have the Mayor's Ball, which is our scholarship ball, where we raise funds for our kids here in the city of Prichard to assist them in their furthering their education. That would take place on Monday from 7 to 11. But throughout the week, we're going to have a lot of great activities to take place throughout the city. I would tell you that on one of those days, we have a Kids' Day, and we are going to go back to the old school way. We will offer volleyball, full square, hula hoop, rick-rack, jacks, what do you call them, jump in the squares, hopscotch. We're going to do all those kind of things with the kids. We're going to have jumpers on that day as well. We're gonna just have a lot of activities for our young folks, and that time is running from 10 to 6 o'clock. And I think it will culminate with a movie on that evening. If I'm not mistaken, we will have a movie following that after 6 o'clock. But from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock in our Kids' Day, we're gonna have a great time for our kids here in the city of Prichard. We will be having hot dogs and hamburgers and those kind of things to make sure that they have that. And of course, we will have plenty of water to keep them hydrated during the same time. So I'm asking all of the council and of course the citizens, the good citizens of the city of Prichard to certainly come out and participate. We're gonna have a great time. Also, if you don't know it, and haven't seen it yet online, and I think it's being ran now with on our news channel 15, I believe, who I interviewed with today. In fact, we were blessed to have the door of no return, which we're calling here in Mobile the door of return. It is the same as you see that's pictured over here, the door of no return. It is a replica of what that is. It is now staged here in Champion Square on Wilson Avenue, right next between Flavors here on Wilson Avenue. If you hadn't seen it, I would strongly ask that you go by and take a look. All of this was hand carved in Benin and sent over, and it arrived last month sometime, and we were able to get it here in this city. It is the only one of this kind here in the United States, and we have it. It's ours. This is supposed to be a part of the Africa Town USA Park at some point, but for right now, we're going to leave it there so everyone can see. They can come and wrap their feelings around it. They can feel it, touch it, smell it, taste it, as it relates to it, and really understand the meaning of the door of no return. The door no return is a memorial to those who were enslaved in Benin, Africa, and other places. They were enslaved and brought across the Atlantic to the United States. And so that was erected in its memorial of those who were stolen from their country and enslaved and brought here. And so I'm proud to say that we had this out. And again, I would strongly suggest if you hadn't had a chance to go up on Wilson Avenue and see the hand carving of the door of return, that's what we're going to call it here, I strongly suggest that you do. There will be many other activities going on as well. We will have a museum as well. If you go and walk through the door of no return, there will be a trail. There will be artifacts and other items that will be displayed that you can come and see and engage in and get some information and history as it relates to Africa and our native country. And in addition to that, we would have a live with delegates from Benin, Africa, doing the mayor's ball as well. We will do the ceremonial libation that takes place as well. We will have the recognition of the elders, and that is elders in our community that we recognize that have done great things throughout the city of Prichard, and we'll be recognizing them on that day as well. There will be 5 families in which we would recognize during that time. So I would ask again, thank you, Council, for all that you've done and making all of this possible as we've done each year. And COVID, that has taken up a lot of our time over the last couple of years. Thank God we moved to another place as it relates to that. And now we have an opportunity now to be engaged to once again to have the Juneteenth celebration. This is the family reunion part 2. My chief of staff will follow me with the other information related to what I want to offer up to council today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Gardner. On behalf of Mayor Gardner administration to the council, this is just a fitness court update. Campaign summary. We was privileged enough to be on the call with Ms. Stephanie Johnson-Norwood, Ms. Annie Williams, myself, and the team from NFC. The campaign summary that you guys have on your desk before you show a strategic campaign of how we get it from where it is to where we are and how we promote it within the city of Prichard. Similar to how Mayor Gardner mentioned the door no return, we will be the only city within the county that has something unique to the city of Prichard. This fitness court campaign summary does include strategic planning studies that'll be done by NFC. It also uses campaign funding support. It uses a fitness court app so we can compete amongst each other and have a healthy relationship in competing. There's also ambassador training, where the training will be offered through NFC. It requires those ambassadors to come and get trained and then be able to train our citizens from all ages, from 13 and up. So all ages with a wide range can participate in that fitness court. And then it's, of course, a lunch and then public relations that's included as well in that campaign summary. When you look at the services for this program, you'll see those services listed on page 2 of that documentation that kind of details each one of those facets that I mentioned, from the fitness court app, the certified ambassador training, media, press, and promotions, and also the fitness season for 2022. It also talks about grant funding, consistent billing, and then sponsorship support. Lastly, on that 3rd page, it also talks about the fitness court, the high quality, the durable materials, and Ham at Viger High School asked about that, and he said he would be more than happy to make that contribution, and it'll be easy for him to do so. We also are going to reach out to Blunt High School, and as long as the council approves, we'll bring those designs and drawings for it to make a decision on those drawings when done. But the biggest part right now, part 1 of 3, with the fitness court update, we're asking for the consideration for that approval for council to have those art designs done by the high school students of both Blunt and Viger High School.
Mr. Wright, so we won't be, so the company won't be sending people down to do their artwork
The company will assist and support the design material done by the high school and or the artist that we choose. So we can also choose an artist, but they'll work with NFC. Once the design is proposed, they'll vectorize the image. And once they vectorize the image, it'll be nice, it'll be symmetrical, and it'll be uniformed across that particular fitness court.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Great question, Councilwoman.
But it's my understanding also that by having this competition with our students, that will eliminate that 25,000 cost for artwork, right?
It will not eliminate the $25,000 cost.
I thought I heard you say that.
Okay.
Would you check that out?
Yes, ma'am. I'll check that out.
So what the children will be doing is basically making a design, and these professionals will come in and make sure that adhere to the surface is going to be out there. But what they put up there will be from what the children, basically, they use that.
You're right, Councilwoman. And what we'll do is we'll promote a scope of the design service so that we're not getting all different types of designs, but we'll promote the same design summary from what the city of Prichard is proudly known for, and that's the celebration of Juneteenth. So when we tell the narrative of the story to the students and the children, it gives us a unique opportunity to take those drawings and see what they perceive as such as Juneteenth, and also put it on that fitness court as well. So we'll take that to the children and let the children kind of draw that concept in lieu of this momentum that we have for Juneteenth and the whole entire celebration, and bring it back to the council on the 23rd. So that's all we'll be asking for. Like I said, 1 of 3 is for the city council to consider the motion to have the art design approved for high school participation.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we move forward and allow London Lighter do the design and present it back to the council.
Second.
The motion is second, roll call please.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Norwood,
Yes.
Griffin,
Yay.
McCall,
Yes.
President Edwards.
Yes. Motion passed.
And the second, just to reiterate to the council, the location desire amongst the team that was on the call has been chosen to be centrally located between the police department, the housing authority, the water authority, and also City Hall, to try to bring some continuity to all of the auxiliary units and put it actually right there between the trees, right above the parking lot. Was there any, I guess, objections, to the location? If not, that's the second motion that we'll ask for, is for the location to be approved by the council.
Will I make a motion that we approve that designated location between those 3 entities and supposed to parking, the police department, and so forth?
I second.
Motion is second, roll call please.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Norwood,
Yes.
Griffin, McCall,
Yes.
President Edwards.
Yes. Motion passed.
And this, I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
No,
No worries. And the final thing that we needed was the finalization of the contribution letter. Many council members in excitement wanted to participate in this particular event or this particular fitness court. And those contribution letters are, as a reminder, we want to remind the council are due tomorrow so that we can go ahead and allocate costs for the fitness court, beginning phase 1 for the construction of the concrete slab that has to be poured in the chosen location. So the last one is just the contribution letters to be submitted, and then council members come up with a total they want to submit. You had something else, Councilman?
yes, I just wanted to take a trip. Mrs. Ward, another Ward, who is not here, who is ill in the hospital. She worked relentlessly on this particular, recipe in order to obtain this grant. And I believe in giving people credit for what they do. And I did not hear her name mentioned as far as this grant is concerned, and of course, I did not vote for my reason, okay? But I just state that she should be mentioned, and whoever else I think, played a part, Captain Willis, and some guys, she did months on the phone, Zoom meeting, going back and forth. So I would like to give her credit for that article. That's what I would say. Okay, thank you, that's all I would say.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair. And in addition, for informational purposes, just another exciting tip that Victory Health Clinic, which is one of the partners that was approved of last month, has also brought the partnership with the JAG football team. In lieu of excitement about that fitness court, has proposed that on July the 16th, they'll be using the same campus grounds of City Hall to do a 7-on-7 scrimmage game in promotion of a healthy lifestyle. They will also be doing the glucose checks and then also the blood pressure checks, as Victory always does. And as Mayor Gardner stated, they'll be joining us on Juneteenth. So, but that's just for informational purposes as well. So we will have that collaboration of the Jaguar football team here at City Hall on July the 16th. Any questions or concerns regarding the July 16th football scrimmage? They're actually going to do the fitness training right here on the far side of this green area closer to the post office. So that big green area right there where those 2 picnic tables are. Councilman Williams. The next one is waiver of fees presented to us by Chief Knight. There was an event and approved by council, but we want to make sure that we have the consideration to always consider our police force. The representative from that organization assumed that the police fees would waive as well. That's never going to be the case here at the City of Prichard. So we just want to emphasize that when drafting those resolutions to please take that in consideration for our police officers, that fee not be waived, or the alternative option to consider is that the council pay the police fees if the council desires to waive a particular fee for a particular organization. If the council chooses not to, we ask that that fee remains in place so that our police officers can be compensated for servicing an event regardless of the event being waived or not. I'm sorry, Councilwoman Williams.
I'm saying you keep talking, but you're looking directly at me now.
You got all the money. But we just want that to be a consideration. Yes, ma'am. We just want that to be a consideration when approving those resolutions for our police officers. But on behalf of Mayor Gardner and this administration, that will be the end of our mayor's report.
Thank you. I have something I need to bring up. I almost forgot about it. None of the citizens are saying that they cannot hear out in the audience, or they're still complaining about that. I thought the mics were up, but they said they still can't hear us out there in the audience.
Madam Chair, if I can, I know that we concluded, but I do want to share one other thing. In our parks, there are great concerns in terms of, and I just want to use, for instance, the golf course. We've talked over the years about certain actions that we would take up there, what we would build there, and what have you. I want to share my position is that we would never have another golf course at that location. And I would just like to share with the council once again, I would think that we should take some consideration to make the old golf course the municipal park for the city. And start looking at other things that we can do to enhance the golf course. And of course, at each of the parks, I want to submit once again that we should consider taking down these old buildings and erecting buildings with bathrooms that are inside of buildings rather than outside, and making a facility where our citizens can have a place to come in and out of and enjoy, whether they're playing chess, checkers, or shoot pool, ping pong, or whatever that is, or just having a community meeting. I would like for us, as well, in our finance meeting, to have those conversations, and as some of these other dollars that are coming in, particularly where I've asked for it to be infrastructure, we can consider it as a part of infrastructure and start looking at maybe erecting some building at 3 of the parks. I know that we look at Pollard Park, 8 Mile Park, as well as High Point Park, and the golf course. Combining what we know as High Point Park and making all of that municipal park and opening all that up as a city park. I will further lay out some plans as I see in terms of moving it in some direction so we can share with the citizens where we are. I know many of them are still discussing about the $140,000 that we got as it relates to the building burning down. That $140 amount to maybe about 10,000 square feet if we were trying to build something. And on average, we talked about $250 square feet to build whatever we build. So certainly it's not nearly enough money to do anything there at this point. But again, as these other funds come in, ARP come in, and those kind of things that we already identified, I've identified now as infrastructure for the most part, that we may be able to utilize some of those dollars to do some of these things with, as well as infrastructure for roads, bridges, and our drainage and what have you. So I just want to bring that to the attention of the council once again, moving forward, so we all can start thinking about that and what that looks like. And I will submit some plans related to what I just shared with you, so we can further that conversation. Thank you for allowing me a few more moments.
May I ask a question here? I heard what you stated for the plan to deliver parts of the building. Will the council have input as for what basin that is really, really needed, that takes priority as for as a city that will serve well the citizens who are in need of a lot of infrastructure.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I really believe not only the council.
And I'm talking about streets, I'm talking about flooding, I'm talking about flooding into people's homes, ditches, and so many other things that the citizen, as far as I'm concerned, takes part. Not only pushing, I'm asking you. I'm asking you, will the council, instead of one committee coming up with what the amount that council are able to spend, and also knowing what, yes, sir, knowing what the council, that's what makes you where they spent the little money they got. Vice versa, we did not get anything stated for the administration. So like, it's for us to spend that money. I'm only talking about, if you're talking about togetherness, and not like the last time for it to be developed and then bring us in and let us know what to do, but let us be a part of the beginning. And also, as the person now will have the papers developed, for this money to go into a special account, so that the council, so the council will be accountable, because mayor, and I think you will say it, if you were sitting with us, we are, and the buck stopped with us. That's all I have.
Madam Chair, I want to say this to you. And you are a body of council, not of a single person, but but you're a body of council members
Exactly.
that makes decisions. And when we are deliberating as we are, it should be as a body, not as an individual. So if you would allow me, first off, I want to make clear, I've offered previously, and I offered now, that the council submit to this administration what it wanted. And every member of here knows that I did. I've asked that. And now we're saying as if we did not receive and we didn't have any input, we couldn't offer them anything, and guess what? As usual, that's not the case. I just want to be clear. The council have a right to do what it does as it relates to the finances of this city. But I will not delay doing what I need to do administratively, make sure that these funds get in here, waiting on to get something back from each member of the council.
As I stated in last week, we knew of the afternoon committee that met numerous times and came up with the paperwork, and that's done. I'm through with it at that point.
I digress.
I'm through with it. God bless you. I'm through with it. But anyway, the solutions, I need to go back, to that I need to be made about a record, okay? On the two, resolutions that's needed, and that is, the groundwork for Columbia County.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, the Pushing Peace event.
Yes.
Okay, those are due in July. They will be on the agenda to be voted on next week. Okay?
And Madam Chair, that pushing peace event, is that for opportunity for entertainment? The one that was proposed last week?
That came up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they're gonna have that event in July, okay? And it will be, those two will be ready for the first, right? All right?
And Madam Chair, last question, we're still in the same place when it comes to the resolutions with, Mr. Dr. Bracy, who had the slingshot festival for July 30th.
That is in July also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be ready. We have no, okay, that's true. Let's do right now in July.
Announcements.
I do have an announcement, I did speak to Mr. Rodney about as far as trying to get the information out to our people. And it's gonna be coming, they have just one day, I think it is now, if I'm not correct. But it should have been sent out to our people to take advantage of the tax sale, the holiday tax sale. When it's almost like it's near that point. It may have gone out, I did not see it advertised anywhere, to let other people know, that they had that opportunity to go out and shop for that food. That's why it's important to look at what things for our people, underserved areas, which are great, has help everybody with all this COVID, the gas riders, high, and so forth and so on. But it should have been advertised in the beginning, whether it is pilot or pilot or not. This way they won't have an opportunity. Okay, but you get prompts this evening, and I'll let you do that. Second, I will add, because I don't think other council members, they have this information, but the HR person, who is the HR? Not PR person, I'm sorry, PR person. If we don't have a PR person, who do we go to give information to go out? I do feel some information goes out, for say events, but not to those that is important to our situation. So who is it that we contact? I am requesting from the mayor, please allow me or however you want to do it. Please send contact information to our council member, can get in touch with someone who is responsible for putting the news out for the city.
We do that.
Madam Chair, if you would provide a request for any information to go out, then it would go out. It's not to be assumed by my staff that you have something that you need to go for. But if you submit it to the administration, we have no problem with putting it on the website as well as getting it out to the media as well. So I strongly suggest if you have something that you want to go out, that you submit it in such a way that we can put it out.
Mayor, I'm not talking about me, but you're not gonna part of the state.
I'm speaking it,
I am
speaking in general.
asking for this information for our citizens of services or whatever they can take advantage of. It is not personal to me. And I don't see why that we cannot ask for a contact person to send information to.
Madam Chair, I just explained to you that if we have something that you need to get out to the public, you send it on the administration, my staff will see that it gets out there. I can't explain it any better than that. Just send it to the administration and it get there. I have personnel that's responsible for getting the information to the media. We have the podcast room, we can do it that way. But if you provide what you want to go out, we can put it to where we can put it in, whatever form necessary to get it out to the public.
Okay, that's fine, thank you, that's fine, thank you. Okay? My other announcement that I had really is for information, purchases, I do want, please, to pray for Mrs. Ward. She was transferred by ambulance to the hospital. And not to say that, with permission from my family. But she needs some to pray. And I'm asking all of you.
Ms. Ward is on.
She's at home.
Ms. Evans, I did have a question.
Yes.
I was not here last week, but did we pass the resolution for the employee health insurance plan?
Yes. At this time, I would say to, our citizen, we have to go into executive session. At this particular time, there will be an executive session to consider a matter involving the remaining her.
It's time to watch the basketball game.
So
They
I
see
will
the
not
goal
ask
anyway.
you all
I'm
to
gonna let this
stay.
fan, so it don't really matter to me. I'm just gonna enjoy the game. Thank y'all
But
for
you
tuning
can.
in.
But this is the reason why we stayed for the last, so that you
Big y'all
will
take 45 more to show.
that you have the